Why aren't you listening to me? Doesn't anybody ever listen to me? Listen to me? Listen to me? Listen to me? Blame yourselves for this fucking word salad that I just spit all over the goddamn plate. This is all your fault. You and I like me. That's it. I work under the cover of darkness because I don't need the rest of society to look in my eyes and know that is a bad person. Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-Year-Old Boy Podcast. Folks, I have a web guy, I think. I have a web guy back. I'm not sure. I can't decide. Lily's fake laughing at that because she thinks it's funny, even though it's not funny. But I have a web guy. Sort of. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. There's a dude doing web stuff that I asked him to do, and I gave him all my passwords, so let's hope to God he goes ahead and does this and doesn't betray me in some weird way. But he would never do that. He lives on a farm. Fuck that guy. What? Yeah, that's right. I got a web guy who lives on a farm. Why do I get these dudes in these isolated territories? Like, nobody in the city wants to help me. I don't know. There's like city mouse and country mouse. Every country mouse wants to line up and help me. And I don't know why. I don't want to make corn liquor. Fix my goddamn website. Where's all the city people who want to fucking help me out? But instead, Country Mouse wanders up and is like, yeah, I'll help you. And then, chews a straw and tips his straw hat to me. Why would he chew a straw and have a straw hat? They don't have straw hats in the country, right? That's that's like a salesman, a brush salesman from the old days who walks around from door to door. No, they wouldn't dress like that. That's the Music Man. What the fuck is wrong with me? Well, man, I got trouble, folks. Right here in Podcast City. So sure enough, I've got this dude, because I've been looking for a web person for quite a while, folks. As you know, I've been soliciting and I've been auditioning people. And what they will do, here's what people will do. They'll be like, dude, I am so excited to be your web guy. And I'm like, that's fantastic news. Here's what needs to be done. And they're like, great, give me the passwords. And then I give them the passwords and they get in there and they bang around for like 3 days and they write me and they go, I don't think I can help you with your website, But it's always after they get around and look at the interior of it. So I don't know if it's haunted. Maybe it's haunted. Maybe my website is haunted. And they get in there and they see a ghost or something, but they don't want to tell me about it because they'll think that I think they'll be crazy. They'll just be, why don't you want to do this? No, it's just something, I just don't think I can handle it. It's not something that's for me. It's like Paranormal Activity. Whenever in Paranormal Activity movie, there's like one dude who he sees the ghost and then he goes to the person who owns the house and goes, I'm out of here. And they go, why are you out of here? And he goes, I'm just leaving. Well, you know what, motherfucker? Tell them why you're leaving. You just saw a demon in the fucking bathroom and it slashed your arm open. Could you explain that to them? So maybe they could move out of the house? No, instead you just pack up your camera equipment and you leave. And then eventually everybody dies and that's on you, you cocksucker. That's right. You think you saved your own ass and you saved your camera equipment, certainly, but don't you fucking 6 weeks later read in the paper that those people are all dead and go, oh shit, maybe I should have told them about the growling demon I saw in their fucking bathroom before I fled in terror. Every horror movie has that one guy who's the linchpin who could really solve everything. Like, literally, there's one dude in every horror movie who 20 minutes in could end it. He could just go, dude, there's ghosts. And then there you're done. Roll the credits, everybody's safe. And then we all get to go home and we're like happy because we didn't have to see a fucking cat leap through a window and fake scare us. So maybe I have a haunted website and nobody will tell me. That's the thing is nobody fucking tells me. So eventually I'm going to get garroted and no one's going to fucking know why. Except for the 8 people who saw my haunted website and couldn't help me out. But now there's a guy. Now there's a guy who's stepped up, I think. We'll see. I have no idea if that's going to change. But he lives on a farm. He's just the dude who, again, because I can't be helped by anybody in the big city. So this guy sent me a picture of his cows yesterday. Because I made a joke. I don't know if it was in the podcast or it might have been on the podcast. I said something about he's going to be tugging an udder and he couldn't fix my way. I don't know what the fuck I said because apparently his wife heard it and then went to him immediately. I don't know why he has his wife screening the show. There's no way she's a fan. There can't be any way she's a fan. But while he was out, feeding chickens or whatever the fuck they do up there on the farm before they do my website, he burst in and she said, "Hey, Pa." That man who lives in the talking box is making fun of you. So, by the way, literally at the end of this, I know I don't have a web guy anymore. He's got to turn tail and run, right? He has to go ahead and lock himself in his tornado cellar or whatever they have up there. I don't know. He's up there jarring pickles, and he's going to go, hey, maybe I'll help this guy with his website. I have no idea what they do on the farm. I haven't been to a petting zoo in forever. Jesus Christ. When I was a kid, dude, I used to go to petting. You ever go to a petting zoo when you were a kid? Once? Who bit you? What happened? Who kicked you?
Nothing bit me.
What?
It smelled of wet animal and poop.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
well. Yeah, it's a petting zoo. What'd you expect? It smell like lemon pledge.
No, but
Which is, if I had a petting zoo, I would actually spray the animals down with lemon pledge. I would try to make it as palatable as I possibly could for everybody. We bought a zoo and we sprayed the animals with lemon pledge. That's exactly it. I tell you, I saw we bought a zoo. Oh, I loved it. Sad movie. All right. Why the fuck was I bringing up the web dude? Oh, because he's fixing shit. He's fixing like he's got the streaming fixed on my website, and he just fixed the light boxes on the gallery page. He went ahead and fixed those because they were like too truncated. They were too small for me, and that was what Kirk was working on. You know, Kirk who lived in a compound in Idaho, because again, that's all I can do is hire people from outside the continental United States. I have all of my web work is done in international waters. That's just. I don't know why. It's just apparently that's the only way you can work with ghosts from the internet. I have no clue. So this new guy, I don't want to say his name because again he might turn tail and run, and who knows how long he lasts, quite frankly. Because I've had people. I had Mike from Boston, Michael, who's like, dude, I'm so excited to do this. And again, he was one of those dudes who sheepishly came back. He actually sent me an email, and attached to it was a picture of him with his head down kicking a can. That's how sad he was. Oh shucks, I sure wish I could help you with your website, Mr. Mike. But I got millions of dudes like that who just like they would take a run at it and then they would get in there and be spooked out and bail. But the funny part is all of those guys had my passwords.
you didn't change it?
Why would I do that? Why the fuck am I going to change my passwords? Fucking the farmer in the Dell is going to change him now because he's the new guy. He's running the whole show. Until somebody stepped up and told me they were really going to do it, I didn't want to change anything because I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? Because then imagine if, all right, let's put it this way. This is not even a joke. I've been through like 8 dudes in the past year who said, all right, I'll take a run at it, and then bailed on me. So then I would have had to change the passwords 8 different times. And I think, I don't want to do that. I don't even want to change the channel 8 times. I don't want to fucking do anything that requires any sort of hard work or any sort of labor or changing capital letters into small letters and switching out numbers. Fuck all that. Not interested. Who am I, fucking Joshua? No. I'm not the War Games computer, all right? Let's just I've got it all set, and once a new guy gets in there, he can fucking change it. What is with people wanting me to do things? I'm tired of it, all right? Stop asking me to do shit. I can't be asked to do shit. Who do you think you are with your requests? Change the passwords. Yeah, that's why I pay a web dude. Change them. Go ahead. That's it. I don't know. You can make your face all you want. If somebody tells me, hey, why don't you change the passwords? Hey, that's web stuff. I pay a web guy to do that. Go ahead, change them up. And then send me the list of the rest of them. That's what Idaho Kirk did. Idaho Kirk gave me this fucking awesome like PDF file with like a ton of passwords and a bunch of shit in it. Done. Perfect. Glad I paid you. Glad you're involved. These other 8 dudes, I would have had them all change them. No, until I get somebody officially on board who can do the changing, there's no point. Stop asking me to do shit, folks. There's a theater. All right, I'll fucking tell you this. There's a theater now because Lily and I, we debated this, and she thinks I'm crazy. All right, there's a theater in Boston. All right. I'm trying to book a theater in Boston. All right. I have been turned down by 6 different theaters. There's one theater that was very nice, but they wanted $1,800 for the week. And I tried to explain to them I only needed Friday. And they're like, well, you got to pay for the whole week. And I'm like, well, fuck, if I do that, I got news for you. I am going to live in that theater. Fuck a hotel. I will live there all goddamn week. I will put on half a fucking mask and live in the basement. I don't give a fuck. Don't even think that you're going to try to put me on the shelf. I'm showing up Monday morning bright and early at 9, and I run the joint if I pay for the week. So, they were very nice, but I mean, people, they just keep turning me down. Now, I'm finding it very difficult to find a place in Boston. So, this week, there was a guy in, I think, Cambridge, and I sent him an email, and I was referred to him by somebody else. Whatever the fuck. Everybody, I will tell you, there's friendly people in Boston who keep referring me. All the theater owners are very jolly when they tell me no. And then I asked them for a list, and they go, what about these places? And it turns out I've been turned down by half of them already. So I had a guy this week at a theater, and he responded to me on my cell phone. And he said, hey, look, we don't have a Friday in April, because I was looking for a Friday in April. He goes, but I have March 30th if you want it. So why don't you go ahead and get with me if we're going to go forward, and we'll take care of it. And I got this message at 7 o'clock my time, which is 10 o'clock p.m. their time. All right, in Boston. So in my head, I'm like, well, fuck, I'm March 30th booked. I'm going to announce it on the show. I'm so excited. So the next morning, I waited, excited. Again, I don't know how early people get into a theater because I'm calling these theaters and I'm finding nobody. There's nobody in these theaters half the time because you know why? They're theaters. Nobody works in a theater. All right, that's a hobby. That's some bullshit hobby where people have a real job and then they wander in on like Thursday afternoon and take your phone call. At least that's what I'm finding it to be. So, or they don't answer emails, whatever the fuck. So, especially with email now, you send them emails because that's why they don't answer the fucking phone, because they're all like, oh yeah, contact me via email. Because they don't want to tell you no on the phone. They'd rather send you a no. They want to type 2 letters instead of take time to hear your voice. So, so this dude, so the next morning I called at 8:30 my time, a.m., which is 11:30 his time. And he gets on the phone, he answers it, and he's like, oh, hi. I said, hey, yeah, Mike Schmidt, you called me about March 30th. He goes, I just booked it 15 minutes ago. And I was like, dude, you told me on my voicemail that if I wanted it. And he's just like, yeah, I'm sorry about that. And I understand it's a business. That's fine. So he starts saying, I said, well, what about, you have nothing in April? He goes, no. And I go, how about May? And he goes, no, May is all booked. So he goes, except for Memorial Day. And I'm not going to book Memorial Day because when I booked near Thanksgiving in Milwaukee, everybody groused about it, and that's whatever the fuck. So then he's like, I have some stuff in June. He goes, but I also have March 16th, if you'd be interested in that. And I'm desperate enough to where I started to consider it. Like I thought about it. I'm like, well, that's a possibility. Except the problem is I'm in Atlanta the 2nd, and I'm in Chicago the 9th, and then I'm in DC the 23rd. So that would make my March a little hectic. Which I don't mind. Again, I'm just coming to do shows. It's not like I'm moving. I don't have to fly to town and lift heavy furniture, right? You know what I mean? That's the whole deal. If I just fly to your town and do a show, that's not tiring at all. Fuck, I sleep on the plane. I roll my rolly bag into a cab. I get to the hotel. I roll around, and then I fucking do my show. I shake some hands, and then I go home. That's it. I'm not doing any heavy lifting. So in my head, I'm like, you know what? The 16th actually might work. I might be able to pull that off. So we start to talk about it some more, and I go, all right, well, tell me about the room. And he goes, oh, we've got a balcony, and there's like seats, and you said you needed a tech guy, so that's extra. So I got to pay extra for a tech dude, which is fine. I get that. So I said, okay, well, how many seats are in the room? And he goes, well, you have the capability to set it up for 100. You can set it up for however many you want. I said, okay, well, is that just a number that I would give you beforehand? Or because I don't know about ticket sales. I sell tickets right until the morning of the show, and then there might be some walk-ups. So I would want to I would just tell you to set up 100 chairs, and then we'd go that way. And then however many tickets I sold, that's how many people sat there. And he goes, yeah, you could set up 100 chairs if you wanted. And I'm starting to notice a little of a sort of a discrepancy in our discussion here. Like I'm telling him, hey, how many chairs would you set up? And he keeps going, you could set up these chairs if you wanted. And look, it doesn't take a lot for me to figure things out, folks. I'm very quick. So about the 9th time, he's like, yeah, you could set up as many chairs as you wanted, whatever you decided you wanted to do. I said to him, I go, hold on a second. I go, you keep saying that these chairs will be set up. Then you're saying that I'm setting them up. Are you telling me that I have to set up the room? And he says, well, yeah. We'll have the chairs are all folded and they'll be off to the side, and then you've got to set up the room. And let me ask you folks something. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? Are you shitting me? I have to come to town and say, what am I, the Brady Bunch in their back fucking yard? I'm paying you $500 for the goddamn theater. Set up the motherfucking chairs, man. Who the fuck do you think you are? I'm the talent. The talent. Talent does not set up the motherfucking room. I'm not a carpenter. Jesus Christ, are you joking? And so I'm trying to talk to the guy, and I'm like, well, wait, so I have to set up the chairs? Like, I would come in, and he's like, yeah, you just come on in. And I'm like, well, there's a tech guy, right? And he's like, yeah, and I have to pay extra for the tech guy. And I said, well, can't the tech guy set up the chairs? He's like, well, he'll be here, and you can maybe talk to him about helping you. What do you, fuck that. Fuck you, Teamster, leaning on the goddamn wall. Set up the motherfucking chairs. And in my head, I'm like, because I'm having so much trouble finding a theater in Boston, I went, well, I wonder if I could probably get a couple listeners and comp them tickets to come in and help me set it up. But then it's like, now I'm a slave owner? I don't want to fucking do that. I don't have a plantation. Again, I'm paying for the privilege of having this fucking room. So what am I paying for? A roof? Is that the only thing I'm fucking paying for? This is like parking. I hate paying for fucking parking. I told you, it's a goddamn racket. And that's what this place is like. It's just like a parking lot with a roof. You walk in, it's this huge empty space, and now I gotta set up the fucking chairs. Dude, I gotta concentrate on doing a show. All right? I'm not there to feng shui the joint. I'm trying to fucking figure out how to make the best show possible. I don't want to make people comfortable and have a fucking breeze come through. Jesus Christ. Quit telling me to do shit. Set up the fucking room. I'm paying you. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Stop telling me I got to do shit. I'm so tired of it. Dudes, look, all right, I make myself accessible, and I'm a nice guy. I try to be a nice guy, right? You guys think I'm a nice guy to a certain extent. Sometimes I'm a cock. That can't be argued. But that's who I am as a person. And aren't we all like that? Aren't we all nice people at the core, but then sometimes you can be a fucking jagoff? That's just the way it is. That's who I am. But you hear me every week, so you're just like, that guy's a fucking jagoff a lot. Well, yeah, but you're a fucking jagoff a lot too. Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. Quit looking at me. Go in your garage and set up some chairs right now. So, Like, I'm going to talk about this, and it's gonna make one person very sad and angry, and they're going to be upset with me, but I have to talk about this because I can't fucking believe this happened. I can't believe this is true. Lily, she's making a face. She's like, don't talk about it. I don't care. I have to. Dudes, look, last week, or I should tell you, there's a listener to the show, a guy named Aaron. Nice guy, and his wife Rachel is nice too. And I met them once at Rock Sugar. They bumped into me on the street, not on the street, on the floor of the show. Yeah, we were literally in the pit. I ran into them in the pit, in the wings of the House of Blues, and they were nice, and we exchanged pleasantries. And Aaron's very nice. He twitters me every week. He's a nice man. Well, his wife, unbeknownst to me, contacted me, or not, no, unbeknownst to him. It was. Let me tell you, it was completely beknownst to me, but it was unbeknownst to him. She contacted me, and she's like, "Hey, it's Aaron's 40th birthday coming up." And we're having a party for him. Like, this amazing party. It's like at an arcade, and like there's a bunch of Pac-Man machines and things like that. It'll be a total fun time. And he's doing that. I'm wondering if you could come to that party and also then if you could have dinner with us, that would be so great. And I was like, well, in my head I'm like, well, I try to accommodate people. I try to be as nice as possible. So I think I could be getting this wrong, and I'm sure I'll hear about it later if I am. But I was like, well, look, dinner can work for me. I mean, but is dinner like the same night? How does that work? And no, she wanted to get this. She wanted me to go. Oh, no, I thought I might be in San Francisco. So I had to tell her no on the party. I was like, no, I can't do that. Because I said I might be in San Francisco because I didn't have a date yet. I was still working it out with the theater. But I will tell you this. There was no fucking way I was going to that party. All right. I was as nice about it. I made it an excuse about how I was going to a theater or like that. And I even said to her, but look, I'm not going to a fucking party. It's bad enough I'm going to talk to them. I mean, it's like I'm sure they're very nice, but if I'm meeting people, I'm meeting people. I'm not going to a fucking bash where I don't know a fucking soul in the building. All right. So I was like, nah, I can't do that. But if you wanted to maybe have a dinner or something, this is exactly what happened. All right. I'm not wrong anymore. I said, if you want to have a dinner or something, that's fine. So she came back and she's like, what about the next week? Would you want to have dinner? Like, it was just, maybe you and your wife with me and Aaron. I said, you know what? That'll work. And I said, just tell me the whens and the wheres, and I think I can make that happen. That's fine. So she's, making plans and all that stuff. And then Karen couldn't go. So, I asked Lily, I said, hey, would you want to go to this? And she's like, what is it? I go, it's dinner with a listener. She's like, yeah, I could do that. That'd be fun. And that was perfect for me then, because then I got a buffer. Like Lily... Because Lily will talk everybody's ear off, and she's funny and glamorous, and I can just sit there and bury my face in a soup. I don't have to fucking worry about talking to anybody or entertaining anyone, because they don't want to talk. Nobody wants to see me. All right, they think they do. All right, everybody thinks they want to see me until I bring Lily, and everybody goes, holy shit, Lily's here? And then they all glom on and they talk to her and her breasts. And I can just sit off to the side and go, can I get another bread basket, please? Thank you. So I was just happy to have a Lily buffer with me. So I told Rachel, I said, look, it's fine. I'm going to come and I'm going to bring Lily too. And Rachel writes me back and she's like, who's Lily? Should I bring my daughter? Because Rachel's not a listener. So I wrote her back and I go, Lily's the producer of my show. Aaron will know who she is. And then Rachel's just like, oh my God, he's going to be so excited. I'm so happy. All right. I didn't know that. I apologize. That's great. And so then she writes me, this is like 3 weeks ago or whatever, we were finalizing the plans. So then she writes me, cause we were supposed to have dinner or whatever on the 19th, which is last week. And, the party was on the 12th, I think, or the 13th, cause whatever the fuck that. So she writes me again and she's like, hey, I just wanted to make sure that you're going to be at this party. You know what I mean? It's at some arcade bowling alley extravaganza and there's a bunch of people coming and I just wrote her back. I first read it and I'll be honest with you, I was pissed when I read it. I was like, No, you're lucky I'm going to dinner with you. Fuck, I'm a celebrity, goddammit. You're lucky I even deigned to take this email and go to dinner with you. And in reality, that's not how I feel. All right, I want to meet you guys, and it's fun, and that's great. Everything's cool. But at the same time, part of me gets my hackles up. Like, fuck you. Make this. I'm supposed to go to the Pac-Man party. Aren't you listening to me? We've had correspondence. Shouldn't you be printing this out and saving it in your fucking memory book? You're talking to a goddamn celebrity. So I wrote her and I'm like, look, I'm not going to make that party. I don't know what you're thinking, but dinner's fine. I'm still on for dinner, but the party's not happening. And she wrote me back. She's like, okay, dinner at the end. She gave me the restaurant name, but unfortunately it was on Facebook. So I was still in the party loop. Like they, because she sent out an email to like 1,000 people, and so then I had to keep getting emails from people going, oh, really can't wait to go to that party. I'm excited about Pac-Man, but I don't fucking. Why am I in this? I don't. And let me ask you, more importantly, who is excited about Pac-Man? Who the fuck sends that email in 2012? Hey, I'm excited about Pac-Man. Oh, you know what that is? That's basically like, I don't give a fuck about you or your birthday. That's basically what they said. I don't give a fuck about you or your birthday because I'm more excited about Pac-Man than you and your 40th celebration, motherfucker. I'm excited about Pac-Man, whatever. So I'm getting all these notes, and then like every day there's like 5 responses. Oh, yeah, I'm excited. We're going to have a sandwich, whatever. I don't fucking care. Why am I in this? Holy shit, get me out of it. I'm a celebrity, damn it. So finally, I realized after, I'm not kidding you, 25 of these emails on Facebook, I look up and there's like a gray panel and it's like, leave this discussion. And I'm like, yes, I couldn't click it fast enough. I think I actually got it from my computer, backed up and took a running start and ran at my computer. That's how fucking furious I was at it. Leave this discussion, yes. And this is the problem with not having a web guy. If I had a web guy on retainer, a real web guy, well, although now I do. Now I definitely have a web guy. I mean, but at the time, he was still kind of vaguely, and that's another thing about the web dude, for telling me to do shit. All right, look, I like him. He's a good guy. I don't want to, Farmer Ted, we'll call him Farmer Ted. I don't want to give his real name. But he's so gung-ho. Like, he's so excited to do stuff. Because, again, there's nothing else. What else? If he's not doing this, he's out on the farm feeding fucking pigs. He's taking all the corn off corn cobs and and whittling a pipe. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. But finally, he's like, he keeps writing me with all these different ideas, and I don't answer his emails. I should tell you that, folks. I'm very bad at answering emails. I'm trying to stay on top of it, but I've been trying to book theaters, and with the time difference and being up, because I have to stay up in the morning to call the Boston theaters, and then I don't go to bed until like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I get up late. What the fuck? Who cares? No one cares. But he tries to contact me. He'll send me like 3 or 4 emails, and I did not get back to him, unfortunately, Farmer Ted. And then finally, I called him out of the blue. I said, look, I got to talk to you. I owe you a bunch of emails. I appreciate what you've done and this. And then, but he's so weirdly ambitious. Again, like I said, if he's not doing this, he's out digging a well. So he keeps writing me and he's like, hey man, I thought of a great idea. What if you could have ringtones on your website? I could do that. I could build a whole page for ringtones. Then you could have ringtones from the show that people could go ahead and download. And I'm like, dude, I'm not Yahoo. What the fuck? Why are you giving me... I don't need this much media capability. Fix the shit I asked you to fix. That's all I care about at this point. And the thing that makes me laugh, because the only thing I need fixed are the blogs. I need the blogs fixed because I need to start. I want to make my website, I don't want to say a destination spot, but I don't want to do all my shit on Facebook all the time. And I still want to have people to go over and see stuff on the blog. I'm going to be able to put up video, whatever the fuck, that's fine. And look, in fairness, he's sent me like 5 emails about the blogs. All right, it's not his fault. And because I'm not getting back to him, though, that's when he's like, that's when he comes up with his best ideas when he's out on the tractor. And he's like, oh, man, I bet I could make ringtones, whatever the fuck. And so that's fine. Good for him. But he's so like weirdly ambitious, which is strange. Because, again, most people get in there and they see the monster or whatever that lives in my website and they bail. But he's Sir Lancelot. He's got himself all ready to go. All right. But the bottom line is quit asking me to do shit, folks. So I went to dinner. I went to dinner with Rachel and Aaron, and I brought Lily, and we went and we had a great time. And I had, unbelievably, a like lobster ravioli, which I've never had. It was so good at an Argentinian place, and it was really good. Like I was stunned at how good it tasted. Because I didn't order a dinner. Like we just ordered appetizers and shit. You don't care. Nobody cares about that detail.
What was your soup?
I had a carrot and potato puree soup. Yeah, and everybody made fun of me. Everyone at the table made fun of me. I ordered a
strong soup.
Yeah, stay strong soup. I ordered this because it was carrot and potato puree. Dude, doesn't that sound delicious to you? I love vegetables. Everybody loves vegetables. And carrots are just inherently sweet, and they should be in everything. You should have carrots in everything. But I ordered it, and everybody's like, what are you doing? Like, Rachel's all smart-assy. She's like, again, that's another thing, too. Because I'm just a normal person. So when I come in and I sit down, and then, like, Rachel starts busting my balls about stuff, and I'm like, wait, what are you doing? Again, you're lucky I'm here. What are you doing? I do that. That's what I do. I'm the ball buster guy, and you all chuckle to yourselves and eat bread. That's what you do. Don't try to hang. Nobody can hang. But that's a lie. Of course, I was very nice because again, and I would tell you this too. I tell you these stories, okay, and then I tell you, look, it's a show, all right. It's a fucking show. So then people come up to me afterwards, and like, oh my god, that person sounded terrible. Like, no, they weren't terrible. It's a show. I'm just describing shit. Because like people, they'll talk. I told the New York story, and I'll talk about somebody I met, and they'll be like, "Oh my god, that person sounds horrifying." No, I knew them. I met them for a minute. I mean, Just because I talked about them in that fashion doesn't mean they're terrible. Ah, fuck, I gotta quit making excuses for people. Everybody's awful. All right, that's it. That's the bottom line. So yeah, quit telling me to do shit. Folks, here's the thing. All right, I'm accessible, and I meet you guys, and that's fine. There was a guy from Alabama out here, Stacy, our good friend, and he contacted me. He's like, hey, you want to get together? But I would have had to go to Anaheim to do it. Dude, look, I understand you don't have a car, you're not mobile. I'm not driving to Anaheim to have a sandwich with you. You're a good guy. But you're asking me to hop in the car and drive 50 miles to break bread. And that's, no offense. Even if you are paying, I'm not that desperate for a meal. And it's because I'm nice. I meet people. I don't mind. I'm accessible. I try to be cool. And again, and then now I'm sure, Rachel's going to be pissed and Stacey's going to be pissed because they're going to hear this. Who knows? I don't care. I do care. I don't want people mad. I'm just trying to tell the truth to you people, but in an amped fashion because it's a show. All right, so. But here's the one. All right, you don't think Rachel and Stacey are going to be pissed? This person's going to be pissed. And to the point where I'm not even going to use this person's name. All right? But this happened. This really happened, folks. And it just makes me wonder whether or not I just got to put the kibosh on everybody. All right? No, I am no longer accessible. I'm shutting it down. The whole operation's getting shut down. All right? Folks, I announced the shows last week of Atlanta, Cleveland, and Washington, D.C. And I get an email from somebody. And again, I'm not gonna say who this person is. I don't want to say what they're doing. It's just because they're nice. I'm sure they're a nice person. Okay, but this person wrote me and said, "Hey, I am completely serious about this. I just wanted to ask you a favor." All right, first of all, I don't know who's asking some guy from a podcast a favor. That seems ludicrous on its face. Okay, that just seems odd. But I guess it all depends on the level of favor. All right. If it's someone who's like, hey, could you send me this episode that I lost because I wanted to have it? Maybe that's all right. Sure, I could see that. But if it's someone who's like, hey, could you come and play Pac-Man with my husband on his 40th birthday? Now we're getting into a gray area at that point. Hey, do you want to come and split a lobster ravioli with me while I fucking make fun of you to your face? Then I guess I'll do that still as long as I bring a Lily buffer with me. And I can watch Lily eat chimichurri all night long and talk about how good it is. And then walk out of there, everybody stinks of garlic. Oh, it's brutal. But this person's like, hey, I need a favor. And he's like, I'm completely serious. And he had heard that I had just announced my show in Atlanta. And he's very excited for it. And he's so happy that he wants to see me. But unfortunately, he's not mobile right now. He doesn't have a car. So he's wondering if there's a way I could drive to pick him up the night of my show, bring him to my show, and then bring him home afterwards. And he explains that he lives, it's only like 37 miles from where I'm going to be performing. So it's not that big a deal. And he also included his phone number just so I would know for sure that he was for real about this. He wasn't kidding. But yeah, he was very, because he's been wanting to see me since my podcast started, and he thinks it would be so great if I went and got him. And look. I am so happy that you enjoy the show. And I am glad that you enjoy listening and you've been waiting to see me live in your city for as long as you can possibly remember. This is a non-starter. This is... I mean, I don't mean to be mean. Again, I'm guessing you're a young person, all right? Because a young person thinks nothing of, hey, man, just drive 40 miles and get me. Well, all right, let me break it down for you, young fan, young Padawan. Here's what you're asking. You're asking a guy who has never in his life been to Atlanta. Has never been there, not even close. The furthest south I've been is Kentucky. No, bullshit. I was in Miami. All right, but that doesn't count because I didn't drive there. All right. I flew to Miami. There was a guy in a pilot suit who took me there and dropped me off. But you're asking a guy who's never been to Atlanta to then identify where your suburb is. All right. And not only that, the day of my show, when I'm going to perform for 2 hours for strangers, and I also have to do a tech check at the theater. I have to. So let's say my show starts at 8 in Atlanta, which means I have to be at the theater about 6:30 to do tech. Okay, so that means I have to hump 37 miles in one direction to get you, and pick you up, which means I've got to probably leave my hotel room. Again, I've never been there. I'm assuming traffic patterns are like they are all over the United States. I've got to leave to get you. To avoid traffic, I have to leave my hotel at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Go grab you, and then drive 40 miles with you telling me thanks, which is great. I appreciate you thanking me for the entire 37 miles. Although, who knows at this point, maybe you might want me to stop and pick something up for you. Maybe on the way back, you'll say, you know what, Mike, it's great that you got me. I'm really hungry. Can you stop and get me a sandwich too? Because at this point, I'm the dumb fuck who drove out to pick you up. So you're probably thinking to yourself, oh, wait, you know what, this guy, he'll do anything I ask at this point. He's just happy to have a fan. I'm not that desperate for fans. I'm willing to accommodate people if they have a nice thing or they have a favor. Maybe. If I can do it, I will do it. I've often said that because, again, I feel that this is where it's going. Interaction with your fans and being connected to your fan base is the way to go. I love the fact that you guys support me, and I want you to support me, and I support you and all of your supporting of me. But Jesus Christ, I got news for you. Supporting you, supporting me, does not mean that I will come to your house and chop firewood. That will not fucking happen. I still have to have some sort of buffer, some sort of specialness quotient where you realize that you're lucky to be interacting with me in any way, shape, or form. You get that? And I mean, I guess maybe I opened myself up to this with Kickstarter because now you all think you have a say in the tour or something. And I don't know if this gentleman gave to Kickstarter. I have no idea. I don't know. But I know that he wants me to drive 37 miles to his house and then drive him. Think about, again, I didn't break it down all the way. We have to drive now together, me and you, in an awkward car. We now have to spend the next 37 miles together, which is going to be, I'm going to say with traffic, if I get to your house at 3:30, that's an hour. I'm going to say it's an hour in the car together, all right? So that means I get you back by 4:30, which means we've got 2 hours to kill before I have to go and do my show, tech. And I have to take a shower. And what are you going to do? Sit in my hotel room and what? What? Are you going to run lines with me? Are you going to sit in the lobby? Because I don't know if you're aware of this. If I pick you up, that means I've got to take you to the theater. Which means because I have to be there at 6:30, that means I have to take you with me early. And then you're going to be there while I tech and sit in the audience, I guess, or whatever you're going to do there. And then I'm going to finish tech. And then what? Are you going to hang out with me while I sit in a cocoon and try to learn lines and jokes for my show? I have to prepare to do a performance. You are aware of that, right? I mean, just because I can sit here and talk out of my ass for fucking hours on end doesn't mean I do that on stage. I mean, I do it for a certain segment of it, but I mean, there is still a show to learn and show to do. And perhaps I'm overreacting. Maybe I'm overreacting. But again, think about it. I have to drive 37 miles to get you. And then I have to drive 37 miles back to the hotel. I got to get ready while you're waiting. Then I have to drive you to the theater with me early while I tech, and then you're sitting there with your jaundiced eye staring at me, or perhaps you're still mooning over the fact that you and I are hanging out together. And then I do a show, all right? I do a show, and it's about, hour and a half, 2 hours long. And then afterwards, I have T-shirts, and I meet and greet people, and I take photos with everyone, and I give them their shirts. I sell shirts, and I'm happy to meet people and sign stuff and take photos. I'm excited about that. And the end of the day, I've done a 2-hour show. I'm exhausted, and I've fucking met people and hung out, and some people wanted to hang out and maybe have a beer. And by the way, with Kickstarter, I got to buy somebody a dinner that night. So I either buy them dinner after the show or I buy them breakfast in the morning. I mean, that's the way it works with Kickstarter. So I have to go out that night with people, which means you are coming with me. And then let's say the night wraps up at 2 a.m. The end of the night, I say my goodbyes to everybody. They all take off. And then I turn around and you're sitting in my car. And I've got to drive you 37 miles back to your house. And then I have to drive back 37 miles on my own. In the dark. Now it's in the dark. Earlier, at least there were signs and things that I could see, but now I'm driving home in the dark. It's scary. It's so scary. I've never been there. I don't know where seats, I don't know where streets are. I don't know where anything is. And it's so scary. And I'm in the car driving without you, and I'm just thinking to myself, Jesus, literally all that's in the car, it's me and all the leftover awkward. And that's not helping me get home at all. Leftover awkward does not ever give you the directions that you need to get home. And the next thing you know, I wind up crashing into a peanut farm and dying. Because it's dark and scary. Coming home from your house 37 miles away and going back to wherever I'm staying. I don't know where I'm staying yet. So, I mean, I recognize that you like me and we're fans and we're friends. And look, I got to be honest, too. I have lost a fan. This guy is out. Because I did not even answer his email yet. I haven't answered his email Because I'm so behind. I'm trying again. Folks, I don't know if I mentioned there's a time difference, but I'm trying to answer the emails and things like that. But just, I mean, dude, who asks me to come and get them? Look, if you live 10 minutes from the theater, that's a stretch. Even that is a stretch. I mean, I spent most of my time telling people, no, I won't go eat with them. All right. I mean, it's just, but now I'm going to go to your house and pick you up like we're going to fucking prom. Are you shitting me? Do I have to get a corsage? Do I have to bring a corsage out when I meet you? Is that what I have to do? I knock on the door. Your parents meet us. We take a photo. I've got a white tux on. Pin a corsage on you. You titter nervously because you're just excited. You're so excited. And who can blame you? I got news for you. If I got to drive 37 miles to get you and then 37 miles to bring you back, you're fucking me. That's it. That's it. I mean, look at the round trip we're talking about there. We're talking 37 there, 37 back, 37 there, 37 back. That's 148 miles. You better come across with something. I better stain up your blue dress, or literally. You know what you've accomplished with this email? You made Pac-Man seem reasonable.
Hi, I'm professional entertainer Paul Gilmartin, and you're listening to Mike Schmidt Suppresses Inner Meathead on The 40-Year-Old Boy. Do yourself a favor. If you see him coming down the street, turn and walk the other way. The man is a walking fist.
You're listening to The 40-Year-Old Boy, and later, Sid Barrett's Sudoku Corner. Puzzle tips from a puzzled mind.
You know, I have no recollection of this, but apparently I was disqualified from last week's Super Bowl of Sudoku. I've been told I stole the first place loving cup, filled it with biscuits and climbed a tree in my underwear. So I don't even like biscuits.
Shine on, you crazy math whiz, on the Mike Schmidt Podcasting Network.
Cheat, he cried, shouting kangaroo.
So stop telling me to do stuff, folks. Lily's even telling me to do stuff. She's like trying to finish my taxes, which is, yes, it's a saga. It's been going on forever. And I told her, and I was pissed at her, and she's hearing it now, and that'll be fun. But I was at home, and she's like, I said, hey, you got to come over and finish these taxes. Cause all right, I'll tell you this, she's going out of town. Lily's going out of town, which affects next week's show, by the way. I should tell you that, folks. I haven't decided yet if there is a show next week. There will be something up there. I don't know what it's going to be. You can shake your head all you want, Lily, but I got to tell people.
How much notice did I give you?
Well, 3 weeks, but I mean, but still, wait, right. So, but the thing is, it's difficult for me to say I can do a show again in 2 days. It's hard. So I don't know. I've been was pondering it, and I'm like, well, we can do a clip show, but unfortunately, at the end of November, I threw in that spare story. So I don't know. The folks, there'll be something up next week. It might just be a clip show, and it might be me talking. I got no fucking clue, but it'll be there. But Lily's going out of town for a week to go twist balloons. That's how important you people are to Lily. She's like, oh, I'd love to go ahead and take care of your listeners, but I have to go fucking choke a balloon. I have to choke rubber next week. Her and the clown are going out of town for a goddamn balloon convention. Not even a joke. Not even a joke. You thought the beard show, the mustache show was something? No, that's something she went to here. At least that was local. It didn't fuck with my schedule. But now she's hopping on a plane and going to see balloons get twisted. Motherfucker. So she's got to help with my taxes, right? So she was doing them in December. And look, I let them lay there because there was a lot of information to be put in, which is fine. But it wasn't a lot of. It's just information to be entered, whatever. So so she's coming to do the taxes and all that, which is great. But then she doesn't finish, and then she doesn't finish again, and so she's like, "Well, I'll do it in January." And I'm pissed because I'm like, I'm going to get in trouble, right? Because my tax guy yells at me, he's mean, and then Lily's like, "I'm going to go with you to the tax guy this time." And I said, "All right, good. He can yell at you, and I'll hide in the lobby. That's fine." I said, well, the thing is, they've got to be done by December 31st. She goes, no, they don't. They got to be done by January 31st. As long as they're done by January 31st, you're fine. I said, you sure? She goes, yeah. And I go, and you'll come and tell him that? And she goes, yes, I'll tell him that. I said, good. All right, that's fine. Right. Well, now it's January 25th, and they're still not done, and she's going out of town for a week to twist balloons. So in the next 3 days, she's got to help finish my taxes. We have to record another show on top of this show if I decide I want to do another show. So I tell her, I'm like, all right, if that's what you got to do. And the thing is, I got to take Karen. Karen's flying out of town, so I'm solo for a week. And so Thursday, she's like, I'll come over at 10 a.m., which means I can't go to bed. I can't sleep. I got to be there while Lily does the taxes, because normally I got Karen buffered there to be there in the daytime while I sleep. But no, I can't. So I've got to go ahead and bring Lily there, and I got to stay awake, which I won't. I'll try to, but I won't. But then I told her she's got to help finish the taxes, and she's like, okay, great. You got to print all this stuff out for me. What? Why do I have to do it? I paid you to do the taxes. Why can't you do it?
You didn't pay me to print shit out.
I paid you, though. I did pay you. Don't pretend I didn't.
Yes.
Right. So I mean, printing shit out is a hassle. I don't. It's just so I have to do that now. So now tonight, she's like, you got to go print stuff out, and you got to figure these numbers out. And it's like, why? I'm paid you to do it. Why the fuck do I have to do it? Stop making me do shit, people. Don't you understand? I can't do anything. Literally, this is all I can do. This right here, what I'm doing right here, this is all I can fucking do. So when you start going, hey, set up chairs, or hey, print out forms, or hey, come and get me, none of that shit's getting done. Instead, you got to deal with this, because you got a lot of this. If you say to me, hey, Mike, talk to me for 2 hours, done. That I can handle. I'll talk to you while you set up chairs. I'll talk to you while you print out documents. That's fucking fine. But Jesus Christ, to dump this other stuff on me? And look, I guess this is stuff real people do. I don't fucking know. But I'm not a real person. I'm not a real person. I'm the guy who lives in your tweakedaudio.com/40 earbuds. That's me. I'm in there every week doing nothing. I literally like slump in a chair waiting for you to plug me in on Thursday morning and listen to me. And then all of a sudden, hey, look, I come to life with new things to talk to you about, because that's all I do. God damn it. And now I'm caught in the middle of a Facebook war. I was going to tell you that fucking earlier. This is ridiculous. I don't know who the fuck. Look, all right. There's another Mike Schmidt out there. I do know that, who's a comic. There's another Mike Schmidt who's a comedian from Wisconsin, and he got written up in The Onion, like in the AV Club or something. I don't know if he's a local dude. Who the fuck knows? I don't know if he's funny. He's not funny. Who cares? All right. Honestly, I don't give a shit. But what's funny to me is he's working the same circuit that I started on. So I'm sure he's playing Wausau and all those other piece of shit towns. So that's fine. Because people started to write me. They're like, there's this comic with your same name. I don't give a shit. Who cares? Good for him. Good luck. Go ahead and get famous with the name that I fucking sullied already. That's going to be great. I look forward to the day when he's famous. Everybody's like, hey, aren't you that asshole podcaster who won't drive people around? Nope. No, I'm the famous guy who does his work and is able to print out a form and not bitch about it. So there's him. That's him, okay? So then I don't have any dealings with him. All I know is people have written me and sent me his website because they've mistaken me. They've mistaken him for me, but nobody's mistaken me for him, okay? Well, the other day, I get a message on Facebook. Some guy named Mark, and I don't know where he's from. And all it says is, hey, man, thanks for the support. I appreciate it. You know what? If that guy would have done if that guy was stealing jokes in New York, then on that scene, they would have fucking absolutely called him out. He's a cunt, and I appreciate you backing me up on that. Thanks, Mark. and I should tell you, that's accompanied by a friend request from Mark. All right. So I immediately accept the friend request, because that's what I do, folks. I was just showing Lily. I did some porno chick just asked to be my friend. Yes, done. And again, it'll be suspended, but within a day, because she's like, hey, you want to see my pics? I get those all the time. Those fucking face fake book chicks. Face fake book?
I like face fake.
Fake Facebook chicks. I get them all the time, and I'm the friend. Done. Let's do it. It's like on Twitter. I get followed by all these weird sex bots. You know what I mean? From Brazil. I'm like, yes. Awesome. Done. So this guy writes me this note. So I write him back, because I write everybody back, and I write him, and I just went, hey, I got a feeling this was meant for somebody else, or I have forgotten a complete line of correspondence, which is not really something, which sounds like something I would do, but I don't think so in this case. I said, either way, I agree. He's a cunt. And signed my name. So, I mean, because I don't know what the fuck's going on. Sure, I'm in. Let's go. You want to rally some support? I'm with you. This guy's a cunt. So a day goes by and he writes me, and this is what this guy writes back. All right, this is what. Again, I don't get it. This is what he writes back. Oops. Whoop. Abort. All right. Forget I wrote anything. That's all he writes. No explanation. No. Oh man, I thought you were this guy, but it turns out you're not that guy. Literally, he writes, oops, man. Oh, sorry, I wrote that. Forget I wrote that. That's all he writes to me. So I'm like, well, dude, what the fuck? I don't, you can't be bothered to even say, hey, I thought you were this guy and here's what's going on. Give me the lowdown, thumbnail it. And also, this guy's a comic, all right? And obviously he was talking about somebody who stole material because he was saying if you tried that on the New York scene, we would have drummed him out and beat the shit out of him, whatever the fuck. So I'm a comedian because you go to my page and you see that I'm a comic. So go, oh, dude, you know what? I was writing you about a comic who stole some material. Anything. Give me a heads up, okay? Instead of, oops, sorry, abort, didn't mean that. Whatever, so that's fine. Okay, good. So I go on Facebook today just before I start recording, and I have a note from someone. Again, someone I don't know. So I open it up, and it just goes, excuse me, I found out that you've gone ahead and started accusing a comedian who's a friend of mine of stealing material, and I don't think I appreciate that very much. I saw that the only evidence you have to back it up is a tweet where you called him an ass clown and an ass hat, and I think you need to have a little more evidence. I'm just this guy reaming me out for accusing somebody of stealing material. And then, so that there's that note, and then there's a second note from the same guy. Now, I haven't responded to this dude at all. Second note from the same guy goes, all right, so I saw the Jimmy Carr bit. What are you talking about? I don't see it. I don't see what you're talking about here. You need to explain yourself. And then there's a third note from this guy, and it says, and in parentheses, it says final sentence redacted because I don't know if you understand that this is a Facebook stream and it's some bullshit. I don't fucking know. But the second it said the final sentence redacted, who the fuck are you? The government now bitching at me about getting mad at some guy? And the thing is, I'm not even the guy. So now I'm in the middle of some Facebook war about some comedian who stole some shit, and then there's a guy in New York, and the only linchpin that I had with this is this guy Mark who went oops abort and bailed on me. So now I'm going to put him in contact with this other dude, right? That's what I have to do. Just get those two together to have a fucking cunt fight and let them have it out because and the thing that made me laugh is he's like, hey, I saw the bit from Jimmy Carr. You're going to need more evidence than that. I got news for you. I wouldn't watch a bit from Jimmy Carr on a fucking bet. I saw him on Conan once and I shot my television like Elvis. I'm sure he's funny and I'm sure he's great for people who seem to enjoy him, but I don't get it and don't want to. I wouldn't know anybody who stole Jimmy Carr's material unless they stole the 30 seconds I saw on Conan before I hit click. And here's the thing, I don't, what's funny? I should just troll these motherfuckers. I should just be like, that guy is a cunt. You know what? I'm sorry, he is a cunt and he shouldn't be stealing material. I should just jump right in. But you know what, folks? That sounds like effort. I don't have any room to give any sort of effort to that. I don't have effort to give to real shit. Like I told you, I got to print out a bunch of documents for my friend Lily to finish my taxes or I'm going to debtor's prison. We can't fucking have that. So now I got to take care of that, and there's no way I control these idiots about their ghosts and their stealing of material and Jimmy Carr and this bullshit. And also, you know what? I'm a comic, all right? I've been comic 20 years, and stealing material is fucking horrible. It's like the worst fucking thing you can do. I think it's terrible. But at the same time, there's nothing more pathetic than hearing comics argue over stolen jokes. Oh my God, is it embarrassing? This guy, and again, because the guy, I guess, is an MC, and he might have stolen something from Jimmy Carr, was it worth 9 Facebook things and a tweet to talk about a guy stealing jokes? Just take the guy aside and punch him in the arm. That's what you do. Just take him aside, punch him in the arm. That's right. Just a shot right in the arm. Just go, dude, don't steal jokes, especially from Jimmy Carr, who's not funny ever. And yes, I know I'm going to get fucking letters from all over the world of people going, Jimmy Carr's hilarious. Is he English? I don't know what he is. He's Scottish, right? Or something like that? I don't fucking know. And I don't know why would you write me with the accent? Jimmy Cole's hilarious. Cole. Why is that? Cole, what's that accent? I don't know what that... Folks, I don't do voices. Maybe I should. No, you know why? Because again, if I got to learn a voice, then quit telling me to do shit, folks. Making me learn a voice now? God damn it. What is with you people? You're tearing me apart. Everybody wants me to do stuff. And so I'm sucked into a Facebook war. And it's like, it's even an effort to tell them to leave me alone. I shouldn't even answer them. I should just let this all build up. Jesus Christ. And the funny thing is I answer them right away. I have emails from October that I haven't answered. Because again, here's why. All right, folks, look, I'm getting popular. Or people are noticing me or they're picking up the show. So then more people are like writing me. So they'll write me on Twitter and then they'll write me on Facebook and then they'll post on my Facebook wall and then they'll write me real emails. And so I have to it's like I'm constantly stamping out fires. So I'm always putting out the Twitter fire and I'm always putting out the Facebook fire and I'm always putting out the Facebook messages fire. But the email fire is raging. It's just like a tire fire that I can't get to. I do. Eventually, I come over and I sprinkle a little fucking chemical solvent on it, and I get some of them. I knock out about 15 of them, but then another 15 take their place. Holy shit, folks! You guys and your active thumbs. But just know, if you sent me an email, I will answer you. I promise. Granted, maybe not tonight. What, you don't think people type with their thumbs?
You hit a space with your thumb.
All right, fingers, hands. Who cares? Don't make me think. I mean, I'm talking here. I don't want to think. Jesus Christ, you know that. I don't think on Wednesdays. I just talk. So what the fuck was I saying before you jumped in to give me the lessons in physiology? Yeah. You should see. Well, actually, if you saw the emails that I got, a lot of them are typed out like that. Yeah. A lot of hunting, pecking with fucking thumbs.
I guess I'm BlackBerry.
I don't know how it works. You think people, yes, everybody's writing me on RIM. Everybody's writing me on their BlackBerries. Oh my God. Look, I reach a very upscale audience who's out of touch with the world. I reach, I'm writing, everybody's writing me from 2007. That's what everybody's writing me from on their BlackBerries. They're very popular BlackBerries. Man, when I think about how close I came to buying one of those the last time, when I remember, and the only thing that made me was, we went to Philippe's French dip joint. Where did we go to?
Philippe's.
Was it Philippe's?
Yeah.
Is that Philippe's? I always mix them up. There's two different places here who claim they invented the French dip.
The only place to go.
All right, well, we went there, and you had the GPS on your phone. I went, that's it. That's deciding what I'll buy. That and the fact that Karen had poured water all over my Sprint. All right, you folks, again, by year 3 or year 2, all of these things happen then. See, now I tell you what to do. Ha, take that. But everybody, it's like at my work now. Look, I understand by its very definition, work is a place where people should tell you what to do. All right, I understand that. But not at my work. My work is sit in an office and make sure nobody steals a car. That's easy. I can sit there and stare. That's fine. I mean, I pray someone comes in and tries to steal a car once just so I have A, story, and B, I can fucking wail on some dude. That'll be genius. And then I get stabbed in the liver. Oh my God, how awesome would that story be? I should just tell it. I could actually see it happening in my head. And then when it happened, but then see that if I tell it when it happens, I got no story for you that week. I'll have to refer you back to 8 episodes when I had the fantasy sequence where I got stabbed in the liver. Oh my God. Forget getting blown by Pamela Anderson. Remember that time I got stabbed in the liver? Holy shit, my fantasy sequences are out of whack. But at my work, my boss, who I haven't seen in a while, he comes downstairs to talk to me and he's being real nice. And then he gives me an assignment. Like, dude, I'm not a James Bond. But he said, you have an assignment. I'm like, all right, what is it? Get a Frosty at the desk. And apparently there's someone who lives in that building who is letting her son live with her, and she's collecting rent from him, but she's not turning the rent over like to the rent guy, to the, basically she's subletting her apartment, and collecting the rent. And I guess you're not supposed to do that. I don't know. I'm, as far as I'm concerned, these are tough economic times. I mean, if someone crashes on your fucking couch, then someone's crashing on your fucking couch. But I've never had the landlord mentality. Because also at my house, the guy who owns my building is always, he's run out young people because they've had more than enough. There'll be 3 people on the lease and like 5 people living in an apartment, and he gets infuriated by that. And I guess it's, I guess in theory they use more water and it costs him more money, and I guess, but I mean, I'm a human being. I mean, if someone needs a place to live, they need a fucking place to live, right? But now it turns out I'm the man, folks. The shoe is on the other foot, and I'm the man. So he actually he gives me the guy's car, and he walks me out and shows me the car, and he goes, this is the license plate number. He goes, I see him. He'll come and go with a knapsack, and always in the middle of the night, so he's not getting busted by the owner. And which makes me laugh is the owner sitting on his balcony with like a shotgun and his feet up, waiting for this guy to show up. Is it really worth the $80? I mean, seriously. But maybe it is. I got no fucking idea. I don't know a building. Who knows? And he tells me, he describes the guy. He goes, he's a bald guy and he's big like us because, the guy who owns the building is kind of a heavy guy, and I'm, of course, me. And which, by the way, oh, Jesus Christ, I weighed in. I'll get to that in a minute. I'll just tell you, I haven't weighed in a while, as you folks know. Last time I weighed in, I think, was November. And then I started losing my hair. So I panicked and I started eating like a normal person again instead of eating like I had been eating. And I'm about 324. I just went and weighed myself. So I put 12 pounds on since the beginning of December. How does that work? How do I fucking, like, literally, it just seems so strange to me that, because remember I lost 15 pounds in consecutive months, and I'm like, well, that's great. But then to put 12 pounds on in a month, I just, whatever. But the bottom line is I go meet my trainer this week, and I sign up, and I'm going to be taking yoga as well. Who knows? Hopefully that'll work. Who knows? I might just faint dead away. I have no idea, folks. But the bottom line is because I panicked because of my hair, so I started eating more protein and eating more meals because I had only been eating fruit and salads, and fuck, you don't care, nobody cares. But the pot, it just dawned on me I hadn't weighed in and told you about it in a while, and by the way, thanks to everybody who's written in with their advice on what to do. That's nice. I appreciate it because that's just advice. Nobody's telling me what to do. Although, you know me, I don't read things very well. Some guy wrote me and he's like, look, I just got to tell you, all those protein shakes you're drinking, not good for your liver. And, the fruit is also a lot of sugar. And it's like, yes, I understand that. But if I'm not eating anything that day except for that shake, it's a complete like meal replacement, then it's okay. It works. It balances out. It's actually less protein than I should have for the day. And also it takes me 3 hours to drink one shake. It's not like I'm powering it down. I actually work it. And so, why am I arguing with this guy now? Because you know why? Because people are just being genuinely nice, but I get my hackles up because they think I'm stupid. I think to well, there's fruit in this candy. I can just eat it, and it's fruit and it's healthy. No, I'm not that kind of stupid fucking hillbilly. I mean, I understand if you drink a protein shake, it's got almost 90 grams of protein in it, and it's got all that fruit. That's a lot of sugar and it's a lot of protein, but it's a genuine meal replacement. Like I won't eat the rest of the day other than that, or I'll have one. I'll have that, and then I'll have one meal later. But it's also just salad. Why am I arguing? You don't care. Nobody cares except for the people who write me. And then there's a guy who, again, I haven't written back, who offered me, he's going to be like my life coach, like a nutrition coach. And part of me is like, do you not listen to the show? Do you really want to, insinuate yourself into this fucking crazy? Don't you hear? I'm in the middle of a Facebook war, sir. How could you possibly get involved? I got people all over the place on farms throughout this great land of ours. I have all these people on farms who apparently don't have anything. I guess because the government has stopped paying them to grow things, they've decided to jump into the Mike Schmidt business. Good for them. I have no idea this guy lives on a farm. I have no clue. All I know is anybody who extends a hand to me usually lives on a farm. My base is decidedly rural. That's what I found. Again, the big city, not interested. Could not care less about me. But out there in the sticks, oh, I'm a god. I'm the suburban god. Case in point, people want me to drive to the suburbs and pick them up and give them a ride. You would think that because I'm the king of the suburbs, I would be able to just call someone else. I just come in, just why not? But nope, they want me to shuffle out there. This could be a trap. It could be a trap where the suburbs want me to get out there and say, "Oh, you king of the suburbs, you're here. You can stay." This could be a kidnap plot. Again, think about that too. It could be a kidnap plot. Just because you gave me your phone number, why would I come get you? God damn it, I got to drop it. All right, so it doesn't matter. He clicked. He's not listening. He's long gone. He heard me start talking about it and click. That's all. There's one ticket I will not be selling for Atlanta. But that's okay because I would have paid that in gas to go and get him. What a jag off. But honestly, that's 75 miles round trip twice. Right? I got to go get him and then bring him and then get him and bring him. Yeah. Oh, all right. What the fuck was I talking about? Where was I? I don't know what I was talking about.
Big guy car. Backpack.
Big guy car. Big guy car. I should talk about the big guy. I'll tell you a story about the big guy, folks. No, I won't. That's one of the guys from the Axis of Evil. All right, so he sits down and he's describing this guy to me. He takes me outside and he shows me his car. It's a green Honda, which I probably shouldn't be saying on the air. But I tell him, I go, I've never seen this dude. And he's like, oh, well, I think you might have. He comes in and out, And I said, all right, well, what do I do if he shows up? And he looked at me weird. He goes, what do you mean? I said, well, what do I do? Do I tackle him? Do I fucking keep him from coming in the building? What do I get to do? I need to know what you want me to do to prevent this guy from coming in to save you the $80. I mean, honestly, I don't want him using a shower he's not supposed to use. What do you want from me? And he's like, well, just make a note of it and let me know when you see him. That's it? That's fucking anticlimactic. I mean, look, if I'm a guard, I need, you know what, fuck this. I need a gun. I need a gun if I'm going to work here. Seriously, I need a gun and cop powers at this point. It's like, it's been long enough. I'm there guarding the building. I'm supposed to make sure guys don't take their cars or parking spots. And I have no balls. He's neutered me. I can't fucking really do anything. And people know that. They come downstairs. They know that I don't really, I have any juice. I don't have any juice. I need a gun and cop powers. If you want me to fucking police this building, let's make this happen. Fuck, it's been long enough. Let's make sure that everybody here knows that I can use deadly force anytime I fucking want to. All right? This guy, believe me, you think this fucking guy's a problem sneaking in, sleeping on his mom's couch? He won't sneak in if I shoot him in the leg. Think about it. Middle of the night, that guy sneaks in again and he's carrying his rolly bag and I fucking lie down on my stomach and just sniper his ass right in the calf. Boom. take that, motherfucker. Go down. And he's like, what the fuck? Who shot me in the calf? Yeah, pay some rent, dick. Deadly force. And then I just drag him out. And he's like screaming, but I drag him out and the gate closes. Oh, fucking awesome. I need cop powers and a gun. That's it. I gotta have it. Have you seen that clip? Did you see this clip this week from Carl's Jr.? Holy shit, dude! There's a clip from Carl's Jr. It's a Carl's Jr. I don't know where it's in California. I think it was in Monterey Park. I think it was. And all right. First of all, everybody's pissed off because the guys who filmed it. All right. There's dudes. What it is it's there's a standoff at a Carl's Jr. All right. Something's going on inside of Carl's Jr. And apparently there's a guy in the Carl's Jr. and he's smashing windows and stuff with a hammer. Okay. Well, that's the backstory. All I know is the video starts and it's the 4 dudes in a car filming the Carl's Jr. parking lot, which is filled with cops. All right. There's like 5 cops and you see the door to Carl's Jr. But the funniest thing is the dudes filming it are, they're like young, like Latino guys, Hispanic guys. And, which by the way, let me say this real quick. Look, you might like Rob Schneider. I don't know. All right. All I know is whenever I see his show or I see his face on my TV, I think I need a gun and cop powers. That's what I need. Because if Rob Schneider comes out and tries to be funny, he goes, you can do it. If I shot him in the calf and I dragged him out of the building, come on. That's a win-win for everybody. That's even a win for Schneider. So, and the reason I bring it up is because there's a commercial for his show with Cheech. And you know what's funny? I've always known Cheech Marin as Cheech Marin. He's always been Cheech Marin. Well, now because that show, he's like a Hispanic dad. He's playing. In the credits, they're like Cheech Marin, like they're saying it like that. Really, like some local newscaster stumbled onto it to do the voiceover. Like those idiots who pronounce Nicaragua like that. You know, went out of the blue. That's some guy named Chet Gowdy. But fuck, man. So I saw the commercial, and it's supposedly Rob Schneider is a dork, and he starts dating a woman who's from Mexico or wherever she's from, Spain. I don't know. She's from literally she's from the continent of ay. So and in the video, of course, he makes every single mistake. He doesn't like tacos. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's written for people. You know what? The guy who works on my website in the farm, like it's written for him. So if he were to come in and he would say, "Oh, these are the stereotypes I'm comfortable with," that would be perfect for him. But in the commercial, they had like Rob Schneider. He says, "Hey, you guys are Latino or Hispanic. I forget which one's offensive." And Cheech Marin says both. Actually, both of those are. So what am I supposed to say then? I put it to you, Mexicans and Spaniards. What are we looking for as an umbrella term for you? Well, I mean, I guess that's kind of inherently racist that I would be looking for an umbrella term to call you people. Why is that? And you people probably isn't helping either. Let's be hold on. I'm going to walk this whole thing back. Holy shit. I mean, if you're Mexican, you're a Mexican. That's fine. If you're Spanish, you're a Spaniard or whatever you are. That's fine. If you're Dominican, you're Colombian, you're Puerto Rican. I'm not saying all of you should go under the same umbrella. But when he's saying Latino and Hispanic are offensive, I'm out of answers at that point. Because at that point, I should need to ask for your driver's license to know what you are so I could call it. I guess, I should just call you Cheech. Honestly, I should call you by your name because that's what human beings do. Why should I fucking care about your race? I'm not in a sitcom. God damn it. If I had that gun, I'd shoot myself in the fucking head right now. But that's what I need, a gun and cop powers. God damn it. Absolutely. So how the fuck did I spin off into Schneider? The dude's filming. All right, so they're filming, and they're all right. So it opens up on them holding a phone or a camera, and they're talking in the car, and they're saying like, dude, they're gonna light that guy up when he comes out. They're gonna fuck that guy up, and they're talking, and as the video unfolds, they're filming. All right, and they're talking about what's going on in the standoff, and this guy walks out of Carl's Jr. You see him walk out. And now, because again, the backstory is he's in there smashing things with a hammer. All right, that's all I know. Well, this dude walks out of Carl's Jr. into the parking lot, into cops. There's like 5 cops out there. All right, and they have guns drawn. He walks out of Carl's Jr. and he is. It looks like Fred Durst, like literally just he wandered out of a Limp Bizkit video because it's this mean looking dude. He looks like he's from a Suicidal Tendencies video. That's what he looks like. He looks like Mike Muir because he's got a hoodie over his head and he's got a hat on with the hoodie over it, and he comes like kind of like almost like styling like you would in a mosh pit, like he fucking comes through and he walks out. And I had heard he was breaking things with a hammer. Okay, he walks out of fucking Carl's Jr. carrying a claw hammer. All right, look, I'm not a man, so I don't know what tools are called. Let me take that back. A claw hammer could be small. This has the handle of a sledgehammer, but it looks like a pickaxe on the top. It's got like the hammer end and then the pickaxe end. I mean, it looks like the kind of thing you would be armed with in Resident Evil to kill zombies. I mean, it's fucking awesome. It looks like he built it himself. I'm like, God damn it, Thor is at the Carl's Jr. and he's fucking things up. So he wanders out carrying this fucking weapon. I mean, it's not a hammer, all right? He's not in there hanging pictures. He's destroying shit. So it's like already the backstory is null and void because he's breaking windows with a hammer he is armed with a two-fisted battle axe weapon that would fuck you up if you got within 5 feet of him. Because he can get you from a distance. It's not like, I mean, a hammer, a guy's got to charge at you and you have a kind of a fighting chance, all right? If you cover your head and you get a grip on him and you take him to the ground, you're on top of him, you can get the hammer away and you can bury the fucking claw end right between his goddamn eyes and end that fight. But this dude is carrying this long-ass fucking thing with like a handle so you can't get close and he's going to fuck you up. I mean, he's fucking up a hamburger restaurant. Hamburger restaurants they're happy places. We've all been in a Carl's Jr. Christ, they got that fucking Miss Turkey in a bikini in the commercial. That alone is enough to think of it as a happy place. Whether the food is good or not, as long as you're sitting in there thinking their commercial, think about your face between Miss Turkey's thighs as you're eating it. Whatever you eat is fine. So already we know that he's got a screw loose. He's in there fucking things up and he walks out in this hoodie with this huge fucking thing and the cops are there and so the Latino guys, of course, are filming. Again, racist term. I don't know. The guys with accents are filming. All right, how's that? And they're like, oh, here he comes. And he walks out and he just looks mean. He mean mugs nobody, all right? Because he's got a hammer and he wanders out into the parking lot and they're like, get on the ground. And the guys in the car are like, oh, shit. And they say, get on the ground. And one of the cops fires a taser right into the guy's face. All right. And so people were bitching about him shooting him in the face. Whoa, hold on. I'm sorry. I just bumped the thing. Just bumped the mic stand. People are bitching about him shooting him in the face. Look, I'll talk about the bitching later. But, in the actual video, he shoots him in the face with a taser because, dude, the guy's wearing like 9 layers. He's got a hoodie and then he's got that over something else. I mean, you're going to shoot. You go for exposed flesh. All right. If you're a cop, shoot the guy where you're going to put him down. This guy's carrying a fucking battle axe, a zombie murderer. He's just going to fucking ruin you. Put him down. So sure enough, he keeps walking and they shoot him in the face with the taser. And the guys in the car with the exits are like, oh, right in the face, man. Oh, this fucking dude with the hammer reaches up, rips the taser out of his face. He's not even affected by it, folks. He's not affected. He reaches up, grabs the taser and pulls the wires out of his face. And then he turns around. He turns on the cop who shot him with the taser. And they're yelling, get on the ground, get on the ground. And he rears up. He takes the battle axe and he goes like he's going to hit the cop. And he goes to go in full baseball swing mode. And as it's on its way up, they put 5 in his chest. Yeah. Sorry, I got to get a 5th one in there. So they put 5 in his chest and he kind of just like crumbles. And as he's going to the ground, well, they shoot him 5 more times just because why not? You know what I mean? He's on his way to the ground. Make sure you take the guy out. And the guys in the car are like, holy shit, they lit that up, guy. Oh man, 10 fucking shots. And they're like high-fiving. You're just going crazy. Because you know what, folks? It's not real to them. They're watching Grand Theft Auto. That's all they're doing. They're in their car watching real-life Grand Theft Auto. You can't get on these guys for watching. Look, and if you want to, all right, they saw a guy get murdered. We all saw a guy get murdered. That's fine. But if you could, I can think of no better guy to murder than the guy armed with a battle axe who ripped the taser out of his face and turned on the cop to fuck him up. That's the guy you murder. That's the guy. Dude, because everybody's like, oh, excessive force. They shot him 10 times. It's like, you shot him 5 times. Dude, you squeeze on a motherfucker till he's down. Till he's fucking down. If we have learned anything from Saints Row or Saints Row the Third or any of those games, you keep shooting till a guy stops moving. The end. Fuck that. And again, if you see a dude, look, if you're a cop, first of all, cops are dealing with shit all the time. But if you're a cop and you're called to Carl's Jr. and you see a guy walk out with an ancient medieval weapon. It's not even like, because you've been told, hey, there's a guy with a hammer causing a disturbance. This guy walks out. Before he went to Carl's Jr., he stopped at Gimli's house, and Gimli said, sir, you have my axe. And he gave it to him. And he took it to Carl's Jr. and decided to fuck the joint up. Squeeze on that dude. I'm sorry, it's over. So all these people are bitching afterwards. They're oh my God, excessive force, and oh my God, he could have been an innocent man. He's not innocent. Look, he's wearing a hoodie. Shoot him. Shoot that fucking guy. If you're wearing a hoodie, you get shot. That's it. You come out of Carl's Jr. mean mugging somebody, you deserve to get blasted. God damn it, squeeze on a guy. We've learned it from years of video games. Put a guy down, and then he's got an axe and he turns around and wheels on the cop. That's why I want a gun and cop powers. Because then if a bald guy tries to sneak in and go sleep on his mom's couch, boom, 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 5 in the chest, boom, 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 5 on the way down. That's it. Building is safe. And across the street in a green Honda, there's 10 Latino guys filming me going, oh, he lit that guy up. And the thing is, look, I recognize something very bad happened to that guy that day to make him feel like he had to go to a Carl's Jr. with a goddamn sledgehammer, battle axe, and fuck the place up. That's the only regret, is that he's dead. I think he died. I don't know. I didn't read any follow-up. I just saw the video. But he's got to be dead. He took 10 bullets and went down, right? And the only regret is not finding out what set him off that day. Although, look, I have a general idea. I guarantee it. He woke up that day and he got an email from someone going, hey, are we still on for dinner? And by the way, are you going to come to my Pac-Man party? Is that going to happen? And he was like, well, I don't know. And then his next email said, hey, do me a favor. I wanted to meet you at Carl's Jr. for lunch. Can you drive 50 miles and pick me up and then bring me out there? It'd be so great. And he's like, fuck that. And he lost his mind. He grabbed a hammer and he went over to fucking Carl's Jr. and started smashing shit up. And I guarantee you there's, because again, it's filmed from inside the car. All you can hear is the cops yelling for the guy to go down. But when he walked out of there with that axe and that guy shot him in the face with the taser and they said, get down on the ground, I guarantee you he turned around, looked at them and he went, quit telling me to do shit. You guys can get me at MikeandMikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can follow me at Twitter.com/the40yearoldboy. You can be my friend on Facebook at Facebook.com/the40yearoldboy. You can follow our friend Lily Von Stupp on 2 Twitter feeds, Twitter.com/Lily Von Stupp or Twitter.com/MNTs. You can be her friend at Facebook.com/Lily Von Stupp. And if you'd like to write her a personal note and find out what major venue in town she's negotiating with these days for a huge show, go ahead and write her at Lily at burlesque411.com. That's Lily, Lili, at burlesque411.com.
Bow before me, ignorant asshat! I am Yeep, hail to Thorgar, Lord of the Seventh Circle of Hell, instructing you to go to Zazzle.com/40yearoldboy immediately! That's Zazzle.com, 40-year-old boy!
I want to remind you folks about the Monday Night Teas every Monday night at the 3 clubs on Santa Monica and Vine. That's produced by my producer. She's producing all over this producing town of ours as she produces all sorts of live shows and podcasts. That's our friend Lily Von Stupp right there. Hey, Lily.
Hey, Woody.
Hey, how are you doing?
I am good.
Exciting. So you had, how was the Monday Night Teas last week?
Fantastic.
What the hell?
Great show. I hosted. It was hysterical.
That's great. And how do you feel you're coming along as a performer?
As a host?
Yes.
I actually was pretty happy with what I did. I had some great feedback.
Yeah, you've been telling me you've been doing very well with that. So every time you go up, you're feeling you're getting better.
Yes.
Good for you. Next week is a fine show as
is.
always. Is it a theme show?
Not really, but yes, we have the Accordion Babes from San Francisco.
Will they play Lady of Spain?
No.
Excuse me. Will they play Lady of Latino or Hispanic origin?
They might.
All right. Tell them not to. Tell them to be very specific.
And then I have Phil Van T hosting, and I've just got a ton of great burlesque performers. It's going to be a great show.
Is Phil Van T a magician person?
He is a magician, circus, ringling.
Okay.
Also juggler.
So he'll be doing that kind of stuff.
Comedy, plays banjo, does everything.
Well, not comedy, but I mean the rest of it he'll do.
He did stand-up comedy for several years.
Again, it doesn't matter.
No, he's very funny.
He's a juggler.
He's what we tend to call a
Renaissance
magic
man.
Professional.
He's a comedy magic professional.
Yes.
Half of that is probably correct.
No.
Or 1/3 or
And he
2/3
doesn't
of
do,
that.
Like straight, poof, I've made a dove appear, and ooh, it's all done with storyline and comedy
Yes.
as opposed to,
Well, yeah, but like magic comedy, like not, yeah.
Well, no, he does stand up.
Yeah, but not really. No, he's not.
Yes, he does.
Incorrect.
Yes, he is.
That is not true.
You've never seen him do stand up.
Doesn't matter. If he ever turned rice into water, he's not funny. All right, so
I don't
Phil
think
Van
he's turned
T.
rice into water.
You never know that. You don't know that for sure. You don't know all of his acts and tricks. So Phil Van T is hosting, and we will agree to disagree on this point.
No, we will not agree to disagree on this. I will argue with you till you realize.
What if we do that? Let's just argue, and all the music just starts. I don't think that's good for anybody, quite frankly. Although we are about an hour and a half late on this show, so why don't we go ahead and argue for an hour and a half? That'll be great for everyone. All right, so good for you. So that's next week. Phil Van T is hosting, and will you be there performing?
I may at this point.
Whoa.
I don't plan on it, but I may end up performing.
Okay, well, that's good. So that's exciting. So, but you'll be at the show regardless.
I will be there always.
Folks, when you go there, grab Lily's
not.
ass. You can get in for free.
Do not.
I don't know if you remember that.
Do not.
Don't slap, grab.
Do not grab.
Yes,
Do
grab.
not touch the performers.
Well, but if you're not performing, if you're just
Do
there.
not touch the girls.
Oh, I'm disappointed in this turn of events. All right, so, go to the 3 clubs on Santa Monica and Vine. Every Monday night at 10 o'clock is the show, the Monday Night Tease. And if you want, you can go to MondayNightTease.com for more information anytime you would want. And you can also join Lily's thing on Facebook and all that. Don't be taking that from me. Don't be taking my stuff. If you guys want to be my friend on Facebook, you can go to Facebook.com/the40year-old boy and be my friend. And also, you can join one of the many pages to bring me to your town. There are all these pages out there. There's first, before I get into that, why don't I tell you about MikeSchmidtComedy.com? You can go there and go to the Joe Business page right now. Because, look, by the way, it's very current. Things are being, soon there will be a page for ringtones. God knows what's happening over there. Whatever they can concoct out on the farm, you'll have it on my fucking site. But MikeSchmidtComedy.com exists. If you go to the Joe Business page, there's a link there for tweakedaudio.com/40 to go buy autoerotic asphyxiation earbuds and also cock ring watches. Those are available. You can go to tweakedaudio.com/40, like I said, and also Zazzle.com for mugs and mouse pads. And then there's also the download sets available year 1, year 2, and year 3. Those download sets are available individually or together as the Lord of the Schmidt set with the Return of the Schmidt, the Fellowship of the Schmitty, and the 2 Schmitties. Is that what it is? I think that's what it's called. I don't know. I'm a little lost. But also, if you want to donate to the show, you can go there to MikeSchmidtComedy.com and donate. Up in the upper left-hand corner, there is a donate page for all of you to donate. Well, how did I get all twisted up? I usually like to do this later. I'm dumb. So if you make a donation to the page, of course, I will mention you on here. There's a $2 donation per month, a $5 donation per month, a $10 donation per month if you'd like to do that. Or you can just make a one-time donation to the show. And if you do those things, I will mention you on the show. And as I said, I've been remiss to not mention people who do monthly donations. People like our friend Liana Dixon, who I've mentioned many times on the show. Liana Dixon does monthly donations. Thank you so much, Liana. And actually, Liana canceled her monthly donation like a couple of weeks ago, and they tell me when people cancel. And Liana's been great. She's come to a couple of live shows and brought me stuff, and I was like, oh no, Jesus, how did I chase away the one person who likes me? But it was very nice. So I wanted to thank her because, again, it's always nice when people donate. And so I wrote her a note and I said, hey, I saw you canceled. Thank you for supporting as long as you did. I really appreciate it. And, thanks again. And she wrote me, she's like, I thought this was a form letter from like a robot who would tell me, thank you, but this is really from you. She's like, no, I'm just changing bank accounts. And once I do, I'll start donating again. I'm like, oh, that's not why I sent it. I sent it to say thanks. But, whatever, that's fine. And so she's very nice. So thank you so much, Liana Dixon, for donating. Also, our friends Frances Woodell donated. Frances Woodell, who just had she had a book come out. But I said, you want me to plug that book? She said, no. I said, all right, no problem. So Frances Woodell, yeah, it's weird. So that was strange. Also, our friend Frank Sichaki. He donates every month. Frank Sichaki? Cichocki. Google him. How awful is that? Frank, it could, because I would normally say that's like Chihaki, but there's, I don't know if the CI, yeah, I guess it could be a Chihaki. Frank Chihaki. That's what we'll go with that. Frank Chihaki. And Frank, you can write me and cancel the donation and be mad at me if you want. And also our friend, this is funny. I mentioned last week that I received a cookbook in the mail. And I didn't know who sent it to me. It was out of the blue. And then I received a letter from a guy telling me, hey, man, that was me. And it turns out this is a guy who has also come to my live show and also a gentleman who donates monthly. Our friend Matthew Henshaw, who I've mentioned before. He has made one-time donations, but he also does a monthly donation now. And now he sent me a cookbook. So I don't know if he's expecting me to make him Rice Krispie treats with all of the accumulated funds he sent me. And now this book, it's like there's a weird message here. Like he's been donating for a while and then a book, like a cookbook. And eventually he's going to send me like a wooden spoon. I have no idea. But thank you, Francis Woodell, Matthew Henshaw, Frank Chihaki, and our friend Liana Dixon. Thank you so much for all your donations. And if you guys want to donate, as I mentioned, go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com and do just that. And again, if you go to Facebook.com/the40-year-old-boy, you can be my friend and also follow out the pages that want me to come to their towns. A lot of people have set up pages to bring me to their cities. Right now, there's a Bring Mike to Toronto page, a Bring Mike to London page, a Bring Mike to Detroit, Bring Mike to San Antonio, Bring Mike to Indianapolis and Kansas City. These pages still exist. Bring Mike to Wisconsin in 2012. But right now, there are cities that I've actually booked dates for. Remember that I will be in San Francisco at the Dark Room Theater, February 17th. That's a Friday night at 8 o'clock. Come on out and check out that show. The T-shirt pre-order went well. Thank you so much for everybody who ordered. I'll have some available T-shirts there at the show. A few, not a lot, but there will be some. And February 17th at the Dark Room Theater in San Francisco should be a lot of fun. I hope you'll come out. And then after that, March 2nd at the Fabrifaction Theater in Atlanta, Georgia. Folks, come on out to the show. The Success is Not an Option tour steamrolls through the South. Show starts at 8 o'clock or whenever I get into town, depending on traffic, after I have to go pick up this guy who lives 40 miles from the theater. Hold on. Is that horse dead? Because I'm still kicking it. I'm just making sure that it's dead. So the show is at 8 o'clock in Atlanta. Come on out to the Fabrifaction Theater March 2nd. Tickets available at brownpapertickets.com for San Francisco. Tickets available at brownpapertickets.com for Atlanta. Tickets also available at brownpapertickets.com for March 23rd in Washington, D.C. at the D.C. Art Center. That show's at 7:30, and I should tell you, that's a hard out, by the way. I finally was able to talk to the guy who's there. It turns out that room is I have a 2-hour window. Like the show starts at 7:30 and I got to be done at 9:30. So come on out and watch me not be done at 9:30 and cause a problem for everybody in that theater. Shows at 7:30 in D.C. Tickets available at brownpapertickets.com. Again, Washington, D.C., March 23rd. That's a Friday night at the D.C. Arts Center. And if you're in Cleveland, Ohio, I am coming to see you, Cleveland, April 27th at the Big Dog Theater or at Big Dog Theater. I don't think there's no defining article. It's just Big Dog Theater. And that's a barn, man. We got to sell some tickets for that joint because it is huge. They have a marquee. They got all sorts of stuff going on there. So come to the Big Dog Theater. No, it's not come to Big Dog Theater. I had the same thing happen. Remember, it happened in Denver when it was Dangerous Theater in Denver. It wasn't the Dangerous Theater so I used to call it Denver's Dangerous Theater. So we'll call it Cleveland's Big Dog Theater. How about that? So that's Atlanta at the Fabrifaction Theater on March 2nd. Washington, D.C., I'm at the D.C. Art Center on March 23rd. Cleveland, I'm at Big Dog Theater on April 27th. And this San Francisco show, which is coming up on February 17th, these are all Fridays. Times and tickets are available at brownpapertickets.com. Go ahead and check those out. I would appreciate it very much. And, I also tell you this. I made an appearance on a friend of mine's podcast, my friend Paul Gilmartin. Has a podcast called The Mental Illness Happy Hour. And I made an appearance on that. It came out last week. Unfortunately, it was after the fact. If he would have told me, I would have plugged it on last week's show. But he's got more people listening than I do. So he was able to get out to his listeners. And some of you knew that I was on there. But if you don't, go ahead and check me out on the Mental Illness Happy Hour. And thank you for the good feedback. I've gotten a lot of cool people who've written me and told me that they enjoyed the show. It's a different kind of thing. He has a serious show, but I try to be funny. I mean, he's funny. Paul's hysterical. But we talked about real life kind of instead of like me just talking about shooting people in the calf. On that show, I talk about the time I really shot a guy in the calf. Here it's just more speculation. But what's funny is people wrote me because I talked about the show and there was I talked about my real life and I talked about some shit that happened when I grew up and I went into that what's funny to me is, look, I can't win, folks. All right, I'll just tell you this. It's going to sound terrible, but I don't care. I want the show to grow and I want to get listeners and I want people to listen to the show. So anytime there's something that happens where I'm like, well, you know what, I might get a little attention from that. I'm trying to figure out if it's going to help the show or not. So I did my friend Jimmy Pardo's Never Not Funny podcast in November. I did it Thanksgiving week. And there's all sorts of places out there that review podcasts, including The Onion, like the AV Club. And they have a page called Podmas, and they review a show. And I was like, well, cool. They're going to review Jimmy's Never Not Funny, because they review Never Not Funny all the time. And they don't know that I exist. One time I tried to plug myself in their comment section, and everybody's like, this isn't the place for plugs. Boo. Like, I actually got booed in print, which that's okay. I deserved it. So I didn't really deserve it. I was just telling them, hey, I have a show. If you want to listen to it, great. So I figured, though, when I did Never Not Funny, they would review the show, and then people would find out about me a little bit through Podmas. I did it Thanksgiving week. They took that week off. They decided that was the week they weren't going to review podcasts. The week that I was on Never Not Funny. I'm like, really? Because I thought I'd get a spike or maybe some people, any sort of crossover. Because, the Never Not Funny audience knows who I am. So anybody who's going to listen to me from that is already doing so, probably. But Podmas would have been an entire new audience and would have been them saying, unless they hated me, they might have said, who's this fucking horrible dude? So I was like, all right, well, that'll happen. That'll be great. So it didn't happen. Unfortunately. Nobody took notice. So Martin contacted me, and this show that we did, again, we talked about real life, and there's some revelations in there, and a lot of things, whatever the fuck. Go listen to it. It's interesting, I hope. But I talked about some stuff that was real personal to me, and Paul's like, hey, man, I'm going to put it out next week, so make sure you're ready. And, because I didn't know what day it comes out. He's like, I'm going to put you out probably, I like to go. He had it in the can because we shot it a month ago. We recorded it a month ago. And he's like, all right, so dude, it's going to go out. He calls me the week before and he's like, it's going to go out next week. And so I needed to kind of steel myself because it's a raw show. I mean, there's a lot of stuff talking about my real life and things like that. So that week I'm like, all right, well, that's fine. At least I know that that's coming out and I'll be prepared for it. And maybe I'll get a bounce from his listeners, even though it's a revelatory show and I talk about a lot of stuff it's very different from what I do. And then last week, Todd Glass comes out as gay on Mark Maron's podcast. And in my head, this is how petty and small I am. I'm sorry, I admit it. In my head, I just went, really, Todd? This is the fucking week you decide to come out as gay? The week that I'm going to have an episode where I reveal things about myself as a young man? God damn it, I can't win. I can't win. I got to figure out the podcast schedule of when people can make revelations so I know how to time it to possibly get reviewed. I am just stupid enough to think that when people listen to me and they listen to the show, they should take my honesty and go, oh, wow, how refreshing his unvarnished honesty is. And the fact that he's willing to have a scorched earth policy and have no friends or no fucking future is so refreshing and great. But then they'll say to me, hey, do you need somebody raped with a steak? I go, yes, I do. Done. They'll take care of it for me. Thanks, Snake Rape. Oh, no one listens to show, bro? Wonder why? Wonder why no one listens to show, bro? I don't want to listen to show, bro. Please. Snake Rape, do it, do it, do it, do it.